Okay, we're on. Good morning, everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader and one of the many coaches we have there at TradeGATEHub. I believe you just got through with the 9:30 Eastern video of Coach, if you will. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, after I finish this one, I'm going to go back and replay what Coach says because I definitely want to hear what he says about going forward about how he's going to play this from macro level. I think he's seen a couple more Fed meetings than myself. I always go to those that have been around more, and I try to learn. Even though obviously I'm here doing a video, if you will. I was taught when I was growing up that I never learn much with my mouth open. That means I listen the majority of the time. All right, so here we are, Trade New Markets. The site's looking better than ever. And we will go to TradeGATEHub, and the site is looking better than ever. And why? Because there's people communicating more. I mean, the aesthetics are nice. We're open to suggestions. I don't want to keep jumping around on different tangents because bottom line, it is Wednesday, May 4th, Fed Day, a little after 11 Eastern. You know what? For the past couple of weeks, before we were trading until then, the past couple of weeks, I said there's no other Fed news coming until today, which is Wednesday. So before the earnings season started, which was a couple of weeks ago, I believe Coach and I concurred, and the rest of the gentlemen or whoever it is in the room would agree that we're not taking any major long positions until earnings settles, especially at the market with these precipitous levels, until the earnings settles. And today it's AFD was, I mean, several stocks are down today. Pardon me, into earnings. So the bottom line is the prudent thing was to play tactical. Yes, there are several indicators saying that we're oversold, and one of the predominant themes, even this year, going even to today, is there are financial instruments and even sentiment indicators that are basically in historic parameters, meaning with all the events that we could say, even in the last 10 years, even in the last 20 years, which would be the COVID, the 2018 correction, which was quite nasty. I remember that over Christmas. That was over Christmas Eve. I was down on Lebu that day. Louis, you should remember. We've had several geopolitical changes of administration. We've had disease, if you will. We've had a lot of unrest. We haven't even had euphoria. So when you're saying things, and I'll get back to TradeGATEHub and get back more into the routine, which, by the way, I digress, is most important. NASDAQ hasn't had the worst April since 2018. The bond market at 10-year hasn't made a move since 1980. Sentiment is as weak as it's been since 2018. So when you're talking about these type of extremes, both economic and even sentiment wise, there's something going on. So there have been a lot, in my opinion, like obviously the Ukrainian war, and I'm not making light of that, or the Russian war by any means. There have been more unrest in the world until then. We've had obviously the Middle East with was contentious for a while. So in my opinion, there have been just as many. Look at Moss. Just as many. There have been a couple of Fed meetings that have been just as important, and there have been. I'm making light of the situation. Just as many geopolitical situations, arguably, that's just important. So where we sit today on, like I said before, on sentiment and economic indicators having sample sizes of 20 to 30 years that are meeting them, there's something, first of all, that's good because there's movement in the market. If you've been averaging down or dollar cost averaging, as I have been in the fund a little bit, it is a little bit painful. Several stocks, more of them, and I'll get into more specific numbers, are making near multi-year lows across the board. Uber's being one of them. Lyft is another one. Lyft broke its side. I mean, they're taking the baby out with the bathwater, to use my old brokerage term. So like I said, afterwards, I'm going to go through Coach's video. I'm sure he gave you play-by-play, but let's get more into what's going on today. Now, the prudent thing is what I go on. Listen, also, let me go back. Because we're having more data and more people in the room, and I want to thank everybody for I signed on this morning, and there was several people communicating, even asked other traders what type of, I think, excuse me, Gerard asked Gold, Mohammed, what type of moving average he uses, if give or take. And I like to have that going back and forth between traders because, this is somewhat of the incubation stages of TradeGATEHub. We have people, that perform at high levels. But when I have other traders trading like ideas with each other, that really is the point. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be pumping ideas. I want to be asked questions, and I am. And to answer any other questions besides this video, it's very simple. Just press the red button, and it's arguably the nicest amenity we have at TradeGATEHub, because this is where you can go. You can go to all our back. We have thousands of subscribers growing by the day. This right here are all the videos I do. Coach and I do one a day. Coach has amazing guests, just amazing guests, and go through them. If anybody has a problem or doesn't think that we bring good guests and that hasn't happened yet, please, we're trying to service you and do the best we can. And I don't think we're falling short in that category by any means. So let's get back to TradeGATEHub. So what I'm saying is the reason why I brought up the YouTube channel is because I also want to go back and I go through the videos and try to get better, at least talk a little bit slower, if you will, go through the data in a more concise manner. Like I said, the theme of TradeGATEHub for me is at least quality over quantity. There are 8,000 stocks. There are tons of financial instruments, 1,000 things to do. But like I said, and I will go back, is we're a medical school. Okay, we point you in the right direction, whether you want to be a neurosurgeon, a psychiatrist, a dentist. I know that's a separate school, a podiatrist. This is the school, whether you want to be a swing trader, a long-term trader, take money out of the market, not even care what a price earning ratio is, and just trade what I do, or sometimes price action, good range and volume. You could care if they make widgets or they could, it's Robinhood. You could just be that straight. So we're trying to give you a comprehensive setup, if you will, and always punch up the YouTube channel. And when it comes time to watching our video right now, but it's going to get time to execute, and that's what's most important. This is all homework and hearsay. I want to get down to the futures breaking low 41.50. I want to get down to specific trades too. When I played sports in high school, I didn't want to scrimmage and practice for 2 hours a day. I wanted to go right into the game. But that's not how you do it. That's not how you handle this business in the long run, and that's not how you produce steady gains. It's a plan first and the action later. All right. Going back today's, the way to handle today, by the way, I said it before, or leading into it, was with this volatility, what the market is, and this is my screen right here. Let me share screen. Here's my screen today. And by the way, this type of screen going into a Fed day and with earnings from Starbucks, Lyft, Match.com, Caesars, there's no surprise that there's stocks moving up and down very nicely. So the plan today was to split the day in two, which I usually try to do before I started getting a little bit bigger and going to a fund where I had to really maneuver more. But my plan as an active manager every single day is to split the day in two. I do my homework. I make my morning trades. I try to take some profits and take money out of the market. I get my list set up, stocks that move higher and lower with range in that I have interest in. And I start putting on, I start seeing how they act predicated upon the market conditions, the best of breeds. And maybe I start putting on 200 shares at 2 Eastern. If it works, I start building to it. It's not working, I get rid of it. So today was the perfect example. And I said it here and I'm going to jump ahead. And you should never jump ahead on the routine, because that's not good. You want to go in order. And isn't the consistency the key to good business? I think it is, right? Including trading. So I did post the professional way to handle today, and this was before the open. There are a ton of stocks moving. Am I sharing my screen correctly? No, I'm not. Right here. The professional way to handle today with there are a ton of stocks moving, the oils, UNG, Lyft, Carvana, etc. So split the day into two, take some profits off the table in the AM, which I did on an active level, on a long-term level. That's another situation, but it is what it is. So take some profits, wait until the Fed, then have some money to play with after the Fed. I mean, anybody that really does something aggressively into the Fed is either going to be in a position to take profits or double down. You better be aware of that. And by the way, in these type of situations, you will lose more money going against you than you will make if it goes with you. That's the way it is. You'll sell things quickly, but you'll hold losers longer. Once again, that's the way it is. It's just a poor trader mentality. Everybody falls into it. Excuse me, every once in a while, myself included, but it's not this type of day to do. And I'm not. Pardon. Okay, let me go back to the end of the routine and in preparation for the end for the rest of the day. All right. So Jim Cramer mentioned a couple of things. Airbnb arguably was the best of the companies. You could have put that on the open. Short-term sentiment. This has nothing to do with what's going to happen today. Red meaning the market, it's overbought. And by the way, the market, as you can see here, and when the market gets in the red overbought, it's overbought. So it can stay there for a while. And a day like Fed Day today, which basically, I think Coach probably we talked about it yesterday, about if this breaks this megaphone range on the ES, then, I don't know how else to put it. Things are going to get a lot worse. You know what I mean? There's especially with nothing really underneath them now. You just, there's going to be nothing underneath them then. What, by the way, I will get into more levels as we speak again. So that's active sentiment. And by the way, this is the perplexing part for me, at least. And Coach, we went over this again on yesterday's video. Once again, punch the red dot. So these are the CTA positions in the NASDAQ, if you will. I don't know if this is blocking your way. Okay, this is going back to 2021. The CTAs are positioned. Matter of fact, they're short the NASDAQ. And you could see every time that they've been short, that even right here, whenever they've been either short or underweight the NASDAQ, it rallies nicely. Right here, they've been short or underneath the NASDAQ for some time. But the problem here is it hasn't worked yet. You know what I mean? So the longer something does not work, trading rule, that you think it's going to go, then you should get, it's probably going to go the longer something takes to matriculate, especially as you're a pro, the longer it's usually going to be a problem. And it's been that way for the guys that are long the NASDAQ for some time. The S&P minis, same thing. The last time the minis were oversold or oversold in the green, right here, they bounced. Right now, they're twice as oversold as they were in the beginning, a couple of months ago, and they haven't bounced yet. So, are they level? Are they privy to a short squeeze? Is it a crowded trade? Is the move in a supposed 50-point move already priced in? But that's not really for that. Is that the people want to take money in the market, and with positions moving like the stocks moving like this, there's no reason to take a stand. Wait till after the Fed. By the way, this move is probably going to dictate. Once again, I'll go to Coach's video for edification. What's going to happen in the future? Earnings season ends in a couple of weeks. We're coming into the beginning of summer. Outside of any peace situation of Russia, which, by the way, I believe May 9th is an important date. What else is there going to be a catalyst besides maybe people covering their shorts or the market being washed out or oversold? But you know what happens there? Market's been oversold let me go here. Let me tell you a couple of situations that are oversold and have been for some time. And if you thought that way, you're in trouble. Carvana. I've been day trading it. I think I traded well this morning. Yeah, I made $4. Could pay for a hamburger. Good. But you know what? I traded it well. If you saw what I sold at Carvana, down 40% in April. In April. Where's my chart here? This is April. This is what? Carvana. And by the way, this stock was not give or take, 10 months ago, it was 400. Now it's 50. So if you dollar cost average all the way down here, and I know a lot of people that do this, it's a good system. You have a best of breed stock like Apple, it pulls back 10%. All right, I'll buy some Apple. That's usually a correction. You buy Apple, it's down 20%. All right, I'll double down on Apple. I don't like to use double down. Maybe buy 10% of position, then 25. So you buy Apple down 20. Let's get a Square, for example. Square, okay. So Square, it went into it finished the stage 3, went into a stage 4. But right here, you started Square, best of breed. You started Square at 205. All right, I'll wait for. All right, I started Square at 200. 10% lower is $1.80. All right, then I'll dollar cost average at $1.40. I mean, went to 74. So getting back to TradeGATEHub again and where the CTA stand, no one really knows. That's why there's always been places to hide. Very rarely have I seen and I talked about this again yesterday, a day where there's been all complete red on the screen that says, this is the thing, the put calls were going in our favor, which means for a rally. But now they've been washed out a little bit with the bounce in the market the last couple. Yeah, SPX long term. Was that SPX? Oh, I'm sorry. I don't want to go to my screen because then I look at it and I get distracted. So the last 2 days we had a nice bounce off the bottom. Even took out that 41.50, or 41.20 that we were saying. So because of that 2-day bounce into this meeting and a couple of decent earnings, the put calls have been washed out. That's not what I wanted to see. to load up, as Lewis would say. I want to see capitulation. I want to see, I don't think there's much fear yet. I want to see, what does coach think? 3,600 or something like that, 3,400. I think he sees. Look at the VIX. The VIX, considering that stocks are doing poorly, there's no fear in here. You know what I mean? I want to see fear. So I'm reluctant, and I understand why maybe CTAs are still a little bit short. There's really no fear. The coach we were talking about yesterday, I want to see 40. I want to see 40 from an active level, and I want to see 40 from the VIX, from a manager's level. Because you know what? It's getting tiring. Guessing, like I said, I have more trepidation putting long-term the money than work the short-term money. Short-term is brilliant. I mean, look at this. Let's look at the. Lewis asked me about NU, that boy. I want to get to NU. This was a Warren Buffett stock. Okay, are you sharing your screen correctly? Hold on. Share the screen. And by the way, I'm not going to keep this too long because I want to give specific stocks and levels. Range today, Uber. Okay. Uber opened at 27.80. The low is 20. So there's a $1.50 move on Uber, breaking a multi-year low. Your dollar cost, look at Lyft. So, but what I'm saying is, you don't have to say this is to catch the falling knife. Lyft, by the way, has a decent range, 23.50 to 20. So Lyft has a 15% range. You know what? I don't even have to go. What else has range? We'll go right here. I'll switch my screens in a second. Bar chart, sharing, right here. You want to go with stocks with range? Stocks, range change today. That's the plan. Get out of there. Okay, stocks with the range. Here's today's range, up and down. So the menu or the playbook that you should have after the Fed settles is, here's the stock. Well, I'm not interested. Look at stock with volume too, kid. Anyway, this is bar chart, gives you the range. I don't know why it's so slow right now. Maybe it's because I have 14,000 windows open. But here's range. Redbox has range. AT&T has range. BTTX has range. EHT. So these Upstart has range. Colgate has range, not sex, ATUS. Craig. So let's look at Upstart. I want to talk about relative strength. I don't know why this thing's going up today. Upstart share. So I'm going off on tangents once again. I apologize. Upstart, here it is. We're talking about relative strength, and every other one's down today. Why is Upstart up like this? Let me go to my other screen, my main page. PayPal's down 3%. Square's down 7%. Net. Here's a long-term chart on Net. I liked it. I thought it was basing. It's one of what used to be a best of breed. Net was 230. Now it broke the trend line. Now I'm not interested anymore. But Net gives an example. Relative strength. What's going on with Upstart? AFRM, RVLV hurting the family. PDD going back up. BRCC going back up. Red blocks. Lithium. XPON. Okay. So AMD gave it back. That's going to be important to see if it holds. Starbucks, doesn't really have much of a range. Let's go to the minis. This is what we're looking for. Let me go to TradeGATEHub and give you the final. Listen, it's up to you for the stock selection because I won't be able to dictate the rotation in the market because it'll be evident. But let me give you the levels of my share screen here. The levels of what's most important if coach hasn't given you them already. TradeGATEHub. Okay, SPY gamma exposure. Credit default swaps, that pulled back a little bit yesterday. That helped. The VIX overbought. Sold AMD at 98. Buy again a few AM. All right, that's okay, Lewis. Good trade, by the way. This was pre-market moves. We give it to them. Yesterday's movers with range and volume. This was yesterday's playbook. Volume, average volume, and change. That's all you need. Range, volume, and good price action. Upgrades and downgrades, we always give you that. Here's Helene. Investors' intelligence are pretty bared up. They're most bearish they've been since 2008. But yet again, a lot of the financial indicators like put call or aren't really lined up yet. It's in the middle. Coach likes home builders. Called out last week. Good call. Read this about the Jesus feed. Kalaniv, it's happy, the sharpest guy out there. Weekly advisor sentiment bull bear spread, lowest since COVID. All right. So every time they've been this bearish, correlated to the S&P. It's that simple. That's why I post these indicators. Here we are. But yet again, we've been here for some time and haven't had that rally. So it's, a lot of contrary indicators. And by the way, no time is, this is not a time to be a hero. Lewis Few, draw down risk levels. How much lower can we draw down? But people have been saying, they said that a month ago, and then we bounced it back and did nothing off that. Hedge funds, they covered a little bit. That's bearish because they already took some shorts off. The market went the other way. Pardon. Any questions? Let me share a screen. Let's see what's going on. I'll leave off. This is my main page today. Futures right here. Roblox, killing the family. Listen, like I said, FRGE. You want to just trade a stock with action? And I don't hate to use it. Stock right here with the ultimate compliment. Once it went through the gap. It's a low floater. I wouldn't short it. There it is. FRG is another one. I only trade 1 million shares. LAC, I thought would be going to AYX. Lithium. I'm long other lithium stocks. Here's lithium today. So this is poor for me because the other stocks that I have are acting poorly. LITH, XPON should be up. LAC is a lithium stock. LAC should have positive pin action. The market was bullish. LAC would have broke this trend line and would be probably testing the 50-day at 29. That's bearish because lithium makes lithium batteries. Why aren't the rest of them up? So we're watching CC work, OLM work, Lewis. We gave you that one last night in TGH, right? That was a breakout, had good range volume. CC was another one I had overnight. Made a little bit of money in it, but that did work. That had range, good volume, news, went through a couple of, a multi-year high. And that's for me. It's probably be a buy on a pullback. It's a chemical company. It might be privy to the rotation, but that was simple. CC, huge range yesterday, good volume, and it was up like $1 at one point. That's all. Simplified it. What else? Qualcomm breaking down, MU, GFS Nevada. I sold yesterday in the fund, thank God. Square, I should have. Asan, the Asan CEO. Let's see if this guy's going to step up. He's down 600 million. Bought $1 billion worth of stock right here, 57. Is he going to step up? Asan, 26. So people started, following the CEOs, which I did to a degree, but I punted. Thank God I punted this. Same thing with Path. They were tripping over themselves to buy Path, right, Lewis? At 55. See, they were buying handoff, so we sold it that day before the earnings. You know what? I didn't let my ego get aside. I would have doubled the loss. Nutella. Same thing. And Elon Musk said this. Buy something you believe in and you like. I believe in gene therapy. I believe that this is going to be the future in terms of helping humanity, but it doesn't help so far that I believe in it. Thank God I took the majority of the trade off at 100, or else I'd be down even more. But I believe in it. I don't know what Elon's going to tell me now. You know what I mean? I believe that Pfizer is one of the best of breed companies in the world and will continue to be the world. What am I going to do here? I believe in it. What else? Walter Bloomberg, what's he doing? U.S. exchanges. Let's go to what the wise guys are doing. Let me share my screen. I'll get going into the questions. I'm jumping all over the place. We'll share here. Wise guys. What are the wise guys doing? Upstart. Calls going bananas. eBay bearish. Disney bearish. 5 times running in Colgate. What's going on with Colgate? Told you that. Colgate. I said that before. Colgate was on the active list. So here's Colgate. So all we had to do is follow the option money and not complicate things, because you can't complicate things on a day like this because you don't know. Here's Colgate. 74 to 76. Obviously, it's a consumer staple. Not really for me anymore. Made its move, but let's keep our eye on it. When the options are running 15 times volume, and it is known to be a takeover, it sounds like a Warren Buffet situation. Don't quote me, but that's usually what that type of volume implies. JKS bullish. Colgate more bullish. Colgate off the page for like a half an hour. Anti-VIX means we were overbought. That's not a good idea. That's not good. BHC bullish, Cliff bearish, JP Morgan bull. Here's the latest update on fear greed. I want capitulation. I want below 25. I want extreme fear at these levels. When stocks are breaking multi-year lows, I think they're still complacent with the VIX at this level. I want fear, more fear. I want fear. I want to be nervous. What happened the other day when I flinched? The market rallied 1,000 points. I want to flinch. I'm not flinching yet. So I'll leave it there. For anybody that wants to know, and always, this is the stock room. And instead of using all these other things like bar chart or other indicators, just go right here. Go to our stocks. And I can guarantee, and never use the word guarantee in finance, but I will here because I checked it a little while ago. Go to New York State, go to top gainers for the day. ACON, yeah, let's go up here. Top gainers. ACON, TMDX, PRTS, BXC, Lithium should be up there. Let's go to the losers. By the way, you go right here, RVSN. You only have to change charts. RVSN, good range, good volume. Let's go to top US losers. Let's go to losers. Top USS losers with range and volume. What else is down there? Lift. Well, that's no surprise. Here's the chart on lift. Maybe make it a little pop here. Still wouldn't do it. BWV. Everybody remember this one? I was stuck in this. BWV was one of my biggest losers. Let's go to this and how I traded this and how I lost a little bit of money and didn't get upset. This is a trading lesson that I could have made money. I didn't care. I wanted out of it. It was a bad trade. BWV, Blue Water Vaccines, 2 days ago. I've been long the stock, as I said, from 574. So it was $3. This is, by the way, look at BWV, 1 month. It was 65 a month ago. And the reason why I did it, and I'll edify it again, is every time the stock, hold on, got smashed, boom, it bounced back up. Smashed here, boom, bounced back up. And I waited. I waited till like $7, but there was 3. And I had like 22,000 shares. I was down more money, but as I said, I broke a lot of rules. Go to the red button and punch up Monday's video. I believe I dissertate on this about all the rules that I broke. I got lucky. Actually, I didn't get lucky. I was monitoring. I worked hard. I didn't get lucky because it took my mind away from other winning positions instead of monitoring this. But I made my bet. But this is what it did in 3 days. So I saw the volume. So it was. How much? How much was this? For like 2 weeks, the thing was 350. It's killing me. I was looking at it every day and I wanted to take it off my screen and block it, but it was a reminder of what not to do. Finally, it went from what? 364 to 7. I think I sold it at like 580 yesterday. Right here. Who knew? It could have been another dollar. But I knew, I had a feeling that it would pull shenanigans. So they wound up doing an offering. The stock is back to 453. Yeah, I could have got out of it and made money, but I would have taken that risk. And this morning, the stock closed 2 days. The stock yesterday closed. It closed nicely at 650. And today it's 450. So it gives back 50-60% of the move. All right. So I didn't catch the top, but I didn't hold it and get greedy. Next. So I'll leave it at there. Any other questions for the family? Okay, we'll leave it at that. So we'll go back and watch Coach's video. After I get off here, I'm going to go to stocks that have range, good volume, and price action for the day. And I'm also going to devise a long-term plan predicated upon the levels we gave you here on the ES. Actually, what Coach even said, and I'm going to bounce ideas off what my peers say. And I'm not going to try to be a hero. Everything will not be your P&L won't be made. Like I said, this is the most important thing to sign off. Probably will not be made today, but you could do more damage than good today because, it's just human nature for people of stocks that are buried and they wanted to sell it. They'll probably wind up selling the winners and holding the losers. And God forbid they flip the other way, keep going down. It's going to get worse. So, you can always buy it back, reshort it, whatever you want to do. This is our universe right here. So this is the TradeGate, this is our menu. Everything from here is up to the trader right here. Get that off there. So everything really here is up to you guys. You know what I mean? Don't try to be a hero and, don't try to do anything. Don't try to make it all in one day. That's it. This will be tantamount. FRGE, BRCC going back up. RVLV, PDD, lithium hurting us. RBLBEX, Tesla. So this is the menu. And like I said, devise a plan. There's always going to be another trade today. Here's the rotation in the oils. This is my cyclical sector, if you will. Come on, look at Moss. Here's my Moss trade. Another lesson. Don't take off a winner because you have other losers. Had a good short of Moss, kept pounding it away. 68.50, covered it. 66.80, $1.60, stock's 65. That's going to aggravate me. And the rest of them went down to CF. I shorted that. I think I shorted NTR. I did that blindly. I shorted NTR at 107, could have won at 105, but I wasn't trading that well in the morning. But here we are. Futures at 41.40. Let's go to a week chart. And that's it. Right here. This is the playbook too. A 2-week chart of the S&Ps. Very simple. All right. So anybody have any questions before I go? All right. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. I'll leave this, by the way. Here's the US mover page. So when you go back and watch this, you can just pause it and look at the up movers and the down movers. There they are right there. So I'll leave that, everyone. Today's Wednesday afternoon. I'll be back on Friday morning. I'll be posting first thing in the morning. It'd be nothing better than to make me happier and probably bouncing other ideas with the traders early in the morning outside of this afternoon. You guys giving some opinions so I can bounce off that. So it's Fed day. It's 11:35. We come out at 2 o'clock. Listen, the repositioning's done. The moves have been made. Anything here is rookie hour, to be honest. Don't be a rookie. So have a plan, trade well, and we'll see you later. Thanks, everyone.